How to have the best conversations. This is a step to step guide to having remarkable conversations anywhere, everywhere. You're probably wondering, wait, there's a science of conversation? Yes, there's a science behind conversation. Some people have a hard time having and holding conversations. Lucky for you, there is a science, and it can be used in any situation. The science is still the same. Here are 10 tips to keep in mind that will help you have better conversations every day. 1. Conversational intention gives you purpose. Figure out your intention. Mistake. One of the biggest conversational mistakes is going to an event, party, or meeting directionless. You need to set goals. What is your intention for the conversations at the event? You need to make new relationships, talk to clients, organize plans, and the intention can be as simple as have fun. Then you need to plan it out. Who is hosting the event? What kind of people are going? When is it and what's your schedule? And why are you going? Having these things in mind gives you a more purpose and more confidence. Purpose provides confidence, boosts influence, and is contagious. As humans, we like someone with direction. So if you seem like you have direction while going into this event, you will seem as like a more likable person. 2. Approach as a friend, not a foe. You need to make your first impression count. This happens before we even start talking. Be sure when you approach, you do so with open body language. You need to keep your hands visible. Roll your shoulders down and back so they're nice and relaxed. Smile when you see someone that recognizes you or want to talk to you, and make eye contact as you walk towards them or say hello. The biggest mistake you could do is go behind them and go reach out to them behind them when they don't see you and you're hiding your hands and you just seem sketchy. This raises their stress or cortisol levels inadvertently, and it's a horrible first impression or reaction you want from them when you're talking to them. 3. Use conversation openers. What is the best conversation starter? Well, research has proven time and time again that the most efficient, most positive conversation opener is, "Hi, how are you?" You can use this as with context to help. For example, you can ask about the food or you can comment about the venue, but just starting with a "Hi, how are you?" That's so simple, but it can make such a big difference. 4. Bookmarking. Bookmarking is something a very talented conversationalists do, and it's called bookmarking in a conversation. That means when you add marks or emphasis to certain points of the conversation to create more of a connection with the other person. And they can also help with more follow-ups and make it easier to talk with them in the future. For example, 1. You can use future mentions. You could say, "Oh, well, I can't wait to see you there," or "I hope to see you there," and stuff like that. So you see them in the future and you are reminded and you remind them that you are available later in life. 2. Inside jokes. You need to mark certain things that are funny or make jokes in your conversation. Then you can bring them up later, and then they can become inside jokes that are personal and develop a lot of bond with the other person. 3. Same, same. A same is when you have a moment when you and the other person connect over something, whether it be something you like, a hobby, a profession, a family thing, anything. You need to point that out. Point it out and be like, "Oh my God, same." And then you can point it out later, and you can make new friends off of this method. 4. You have to see. What if your friend, your whoever you're talking to, is saying something and then they mention something they really like, and you can follow up with that and say, "Oh, well, then if you really like soccer, you really need to see this cool video I found." And then you can make more follow-ups with that by saying, "Oh, I'll text you that video," or "I'll send you that video," or "We should talk more, and you should come with me to that game too," and stuff like that. And these are just four examples of bookmarking, but there's so many more that you can use. 5. Find sparks. The most charismatic people know how to keep the conversation flowing. Sparks are little questions or comments that usually trigger dopamine and make us feel excited, and they keep the conversation from drying up. Here are a few sparks. Have any vacation plans coming up? Working on anything exciting recently? What's the best part of your week? Tried anything new things recently? Working any personal passions recently? These are a few things. When you're looking for sparks, a good thing to keep in mind is if you ask about the other person, it will really help you out because people love it when they talk about themselves. So if you ask a question about the other person, they start talking about themselves, they're going to really like talking to you. 6. The secret is in the eyebrow. The eyebrow raise. Across cultures, this is what we do when we hear something interesting, engaging, or something that brings out your curiosity. So you can use this knowledge to your advantage in two ways. If you hear something that interests you, use this trick. And it subconsciously registers in their mind and they realize that you're interested in their whatever they're saying and they'll talk more and you'll have a better time because they'll know that you enjoy talking to them. Additionally, if you see someone do this during something you say, you can follow up to whatever topic that they were engaged on. So you're talking about a story and then you mention that you have a dog and they have that eyebrow raise. You can say, "Do you have any dogs? Do you have any interest in dogs?" and stuff like that. 7. Captivate with stories. You need to create your own story toolbox. Once you start telling a story, the other person will be sucked in immediately, bringing you closer together in this connection and sharing a personal experience. Stories can be a very interesting part of your conversations, but also try to keep in mind to include follow ups and ask the other person about their experiences too. At the end of your story, try to include a question that asks about the other person and gets them to tell their own story. This implies that there's no undersharing or overtalking. 8. Encourage the reciprocity. How would you feel if you went up to someone and you asked them about where they grew up and they answered but they never asked you the question back? You would feel awkward and there'd be an awkward silence. People expect reciprocity in their answers. You can't leave anyone hanging. When they ask you a question, you answer and you ask them the same question. You need to always finish your answers with, "How about you?" But remember not to one up them. You always have that person who's the one upper, who's like, "Oh, well, I went to 50 states. Oh yeah, well I went to 5 countries." And then don't be the person who tries to one up them with the answers, but encourage this. Encourage the "how about you?" because it really gets everyone talking. 9. Exits. Your exit matters, and this ensures that you have a lasting impression on that person. The worst thing you can do is do everything right and then just leave with a not so flattering exit and then they just forget about you because it's all that hard work that goes to waste. You need that connection. Remember to exit on a high, not a low. Exit the room or exit the conversation when you're at a really high part of the conversation because so they remember you for that moment. Here are a few ways you can do that. You can use future mentions. "Well, I can't wait to see you at that meeting, event coming up. I'll email you." Inside jokes. "It was great laughing with you. I'll be sure to contact you in the future or do this in the future." I don't know. Whatever inside jokes, bring it up. Bring it up at the last moment and leave. And they'll be laughing, you'll be laughing, and they'll remember that joke. Same. "I'm so glad I met a fellow this fan. You made my night." Or "you have to see. I'll be sure to send you that link for the great talking to you." Those are just 4 very simple ways to do this. 10. The Postmortem. You need to take a few moments to reflect after your conversation. You need to ask what went well, and you need to remember what you need to follow up with, and you also need to remember what you learned. Doing this every single time after any event, any conversation will help you so much in life. You'll learn more and you'll have better conversations in total. Here's a bonus: how to be funnier in conversations. Yes, you can actually learn how to be funny in conversations. Please check out our How to Be Funny video for more on this topic. Thank you. I hope you love this video. I hope you use these tips to help you in conversations in the future. For more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe to the Success Bistro.